did you go in school?
Well,
So there are rules in place for you. If you don't follow those rules, you could end up going to prison for 20 years.
yes, ma'am.
You are not allowed to stay with Gloria Martinez.
Yes,
That is
ma'am.
clearly in your conditions.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry.
And well, I mean, you should be sorry for you
I know.
because you're making bad decisions as though your life means nothing. Why you would want to live with somebody who is selling you ice. State of Texas versus Louis Fletcher Thompson. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Michael Villarreal for the state.
for the
Christine
defense?
Sorry, Judge. Christine McDonald for the defendant.
And are you Mr. Thompson?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
None, Your Honor.
Defense?
You don't see the number, they don't see the name.
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Thompson, I'm showing you what's entitled defendant's consent to appear by video conference. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you electronically sign it and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Thompson, I'm showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, we do.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Thompson, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments and defendant's waivers and affidavit of admonition. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically
Yes, ma'am.
sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
What you're charged with is aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. The range of punishment for that offense is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Off the record for a moment. Mr. Flores, could you show your video, please? Thank you, Mr. Flores.
Yeah.
You're here on Lawrence.
Yes,
Is
Judge
that
Brandon
criminal
Lawrence.
trial division or family violence?
It's a criminal trial.
All right, I'm going to send you to a breakout room. I'll send you to breakout room number 3.
Okay, thank you,
My
Judge.
lawyer.
You're welcome. We're back on the record.
Hello.
Thompson, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses that may recall and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Thompson, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No.
All right, after reviewing states, exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding you guilty as you applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so with regards to the $1,000 fine, unless there's a reason not to, the court normally will probate that. So is that what you were wanting to address, Ms. McDonald?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so the $1,000 fine will be probated. 5 years deferred adjudication. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. Now, you wanted to address the McMouth evaluation, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, what do you want to say about that?
Judge, my client has been in custody, unable to postpone since November. Judge, I truly believe this incident might have occurred due to some med adjusting after speaking with the family, who So Judge, I'm just asking if you would consider to allow those evaluations to be done out of custody, considering the amount of wait time for beds should Mr. Thompson need inpatient treatment.
All right, what prior medications were your client on?
I spoke with his sister, Judge, and he was seeing a private doctor, Dr. R. Jimenez. They made that switch last year in October. So at the time that this case happened, he was transitioning between doctors, Judge, and was prescribed new medication, clozapine, Judge. And I don't believe he reacted well to that. And that might have been the stem of this incident, Judge, and in consideration of that and the fact that he does have private health care out of custody, I would just respectfully request that he be allowed to be out of custody when these evaluations are pending.
All right, who is his current doctor, though, that he's seeing?
Dr. R. Jimenez.
And could you spell the first name, or is it just the letter R?
She just told me R. Jimenez. She looked on one of his, the medication bottle, Judge.
And is that Jimenez with a J or an X?
With a J.
And State, have you talked to Travion Martinez? And does Travion Martinez wish for Mr. Thompson to be on deferred?
Your Honor, the victim on this case was not cooperative, and he stated that even if we were to proceed, that he would hope that he would get probation and some type of mental health counseling or help.
All right, and then with Aquiana, Auquiana Henderson, is that where he's going to be staying?
Judge, from reviewing the evidence, that is one of the witnesses who saw part of this happen, but I don't know if she lives in that house, Judge.
All right, Mr. Thompson, where are you going to be living?
He's on.
You're on mute. If you could press yes, where will you be living?
You're good. With my sister,
And who is your sister?
Gloria Martinez.
I'm sorry, who?
Gloria Martinez.
Have you talked to her?
My lawyer has.
I spoke with her this morning, Judge.
Does she want him to live with her?
Yes, Your Honor. She's been caring for him for the past 2 years. He has no other family to take him in.
All right, and so her address won't be on the YouTube. Can you chat me her address, please? And then I'm gonna need you to go into the breakout room to give that address to probation.
I will, Judge. I'll have to call her again. I'll get it.
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Thompson, do you have employment or are you receiving SSI?
See SSI.
And you get yours. And what are you planning on, what do you do in your spare time?
I do construction jobs, and I'm gonna find me another job.
All right, well, I'm not in the SSI department. I don't know if you're allowed to work.
No, because I am on a work program called Work Ready. Is a program that I'm under. I can work and still get my checks.
Okay, what is the name of the program, sir?
Because Work Now is a government entity that was made a while ago.
Okay, because I know SSI checks are not a lot, and then not to be allowed to do what you can do is always complicated. So I'm glad you're able to do that.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, do you know how to Zoom? If I require you to report by Zoom, are you able to do that?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have a case manager?
I had one in Austin, but I could try to get one.
I think a case manager would really be helpful to you, okay?
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
not necessarily going to order that, but you probably would be better with your medication compliance if you had a case manager. And the reason why I'm not ordering it, because I don't think it's my duty or within my expertise to interfere with any type of medical relationship you have with your doctor. So If you want to, consider asking your doctor about getting you a case manager.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any children?
Yes, all my kids is grown.
Okay. Let's not call them kids because I grew up learning that kids were baby goats. So let's call them children. Okay.
Children. All my children is grown.
All right. All right. It's going to be $1,000 fine that will be probated. 5 years deferred adjudication. There's an affirmative finding of family violence, 120 hours community service restitution. If you have completed the COVID regimen, then the court will deduct 40 of those hours. The court is not forcing you or requiring you to do that. But if you have received the vaccination, you provide proof, then 40 of those hours will be deducted. I'm going to want a MIC evaluation. That'll be done out of custody. Mr. Thompson, if you fail to meet these appointments, you're going to find yourself doing your MIC evaluation in custody. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So communication is key. Going to do the hostility and aggression control course. There's to be no harmful or injurious contact with Travion Martinez. You're going to continue seeing Dr. R. Jimenez, and you're going to need to provide a medical release for probation so they can make sure that you're staying on your medications. You are to reside with Gloria Martinez. If there's an issue with residing at Gloria Martinez, you need to immediately contact probation and let them know.
Yes, ma'am.
Proof of SSI within 20 days. You are to continue with the Work Now program, but there's to be no employment as a home healthcare provider or with minors. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom. If you can't report by Zoom, you'll need to do in person. I'm going to want field visits 2 times per month, random. Rebecca, is there anything else that he needs?
No, Judge, I'm sorry. What was the program you ordered after proof of SSI?
He is currently in the program with the federal government called Work Now program, and they allow him to work.
Okay.
And we're going to do regular UAs. Mr. Thompson, is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
Well, ma'am, I just want to get out of jail. That's all. And I will never.
So you need to get out of jail in order to be successful. We're working on that. So anything other than the get out of jail part?
No, you're great. You do everything like you're supposed to do. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Thompson. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And because there's an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. What's up, brother?
If you have a question over what a weapon is, you'll need to contact an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. We can go off the record. Mr. Thompson, I saw where you were the complainant's uncle. We're going to have to do better. All right.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, well, you don't have to apologize to me, but you probably need to apologize to him.
Yes, ma'am.
I find it best when people get upset, just walk away.
Yes,
Just,
ma'am.
Find a place to calm down. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
3, State of Texas versus Louis Fletcher Thompson. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Brittany Mitchell for the state.
Defense?
Renee News on behalf of Mr. Thompson.
Are you Mr. Thompson?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to show you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Louis Fletcher Thompson who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2022 CR 0273 for the offense of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon? State?
Your Honor, violation of condition number 4. In Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Louis Fletcher Thompson, did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of September and October 2022 in violation of condition number 4.
How do you plead to that? True or not true? True.
And we'll waive the remaining violations, Your Honor.
Any objection?
No objection, Judge.
Did you understand by pleading true, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 4 true. Is there an agreement?
Your Honor, there is an agreement to deny the motion and to alter and amend for inpatient treatment. The state is agreeable to lifetime recovery, which he has done before. However, if for some reason he doesn't qualify or can't, then it would be state ISF.
All right, is that the agreement?
That's the agreement, Your Honor. And just a little bit of background, having since been on probation, he was rendered homeless. I did speak with the Vice President of Admissions, Mr. Welch, from Lifetime Recovery. He did state that he could be possibly transferred with the court's okay in about 1.5 to 2 weeks. And it did say that they can assist him with housing, they can assist him with additional counseling, and they can help him with placements in terms of possible Haven for Hope, an Oxford home, things of that nature. And I believe the state and the defense is agreeable in that there will be more opportunities for him with lifetime recovery and the resources they have versus ISF. I believe the recommendation for ISF was for cognitive reasons, not particularly significant drug reasons, but he has fallen on hard times, Your Honor. He has not reoffended or picked up any number ones. He did, failed to report for a couple months, and he did want me to apologize on his behalf for that, Judge. But we're hoping that he can get the chance for treatment to get back on the right track. And it would be a shorter process than the ISF.
Ms. Fletcher, Mr. Fletcher, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand. Why are you not reporting?
Well, because I was staying with my sister and I thought she would take me to court in, and she never did. And she's the one who sold that.
She's the one who what?
She's the one who sold the drugs.
All right, who's your sister?
Lloyd Martinez.
All right, you're not supposed to be staying with Gloria Martinez.
I know. I'm sorry. I
Well,
thought she would help me, but.
well, no, you're not supposed to be staying with her. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
How far did you go in school?
Well,
So there are rules in place for you. If you don't follow those rules, you could end up going to prison for 20 years.
yes, ma'am.
You are not allowed to stay with Gloria Martinez.
Yes,
That is
ma'am.
clearly in your conditions.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry.
And, well, I mean, you should be sorry for you
I know.
because you're making bad decisions as though your life means nothing. Why you would want to live with somebody who is selling you ice is beyond me when you know you have a drug problem. You understand?
Sorry.
Well, no, I mean, you should be apologizing to yourself and apologizing to your body
Yes, ma'am.
and apologizing to Lifetime Recovery, because Lifetime Recovery spent resources on you, and they spent resources on you because they think you're worth it. And then you just throw it all away to go live with your sister who's using drugs and giving you drugs.
And Your Honor, he was living with her, but he had since stopped, and he was at the homeless shelter, so he realized he was there. He was not picked up there or anything like that. He was picked up when he was living at Haven for Hope. So he had since stopped that relationship, and he's in agreement that he's not going to go back there. Yeah, he wasn't living with her at the time of him getting picked up.
I've been homeless for 2 months.
Well, I mean, about being homeless, do you have a job? Did you get a job?
I get SSI.
All right. So I know that if you receive SSI, SSI does help you with housing. Everybody, not you per se, but a majority, well, I won't even say a majority. Some people are just, oh, I'm homeless. And they're not trying to get a job. I see people every day who are coming up to my car, wanting to wash my windshield, or coming up to me, wanting me to give them money. At some point, people should be tired of, let me go out here and beg today and beg somebody to give me money. Wouldn't it be so much better? Wouldn't it be so much for your self-esteem if you didn't have to beg people for money?
I don't do that.
Well, you need to get a job.
Yes, ma'am.
You need to stop living with your sister.
Yes, ma'am.
And being contrite in front of me and apologizing for doing what you know is wrong is not really an apology. That's an apology to me for getting caught. It's not a true apology. That's you saying it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission. You knew you were not supposed to live with your sister. So instead of coming to court and asking for permission, your idea was, I'm going to live with my sister. And I know your sister then forced drugs upon you. You know you have a drug issue, but you went to go live with your sister because you could get drugs. And now you're coming to the court and saying, let me apologize to you. Let me ask for forgiveness because I didn't want permission because I knew you were not giving it. So I'll follow your agreement, but I'm telling you right now, everything that you do from here on out, you need to ask yourself, is this something that could potentially result in me going to prison for 20 years? Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And if in your mind you say, the decision I'm making right now, I don't know, there's a possibility it could result in me going to prison for 20 years, then you shouldn't do it. And don't try to do this thing with me where you're asking for forgiveness instead of permission. And if it's something that definitely tells you, oh yeah, I'm going to get in trouble for this, then you definitely should not be doing it. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And when you get out of lifetime, I'm going to deny the motion. Alternate mean conditions to lifetime recovery. Lifetime recovery will be picking you up from the Bexar County Jail. And he is not to have any contact with Gloria Martinez. Do I need to say it again? Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge, I'll definitely, after we speak, admonish him about the consequences. I know you did a great job of that, and I think that is a good idea, being transferred directly into it, because he has since detoxed, and it'd be a good opportunity for him to grow there. But we do appreciate the opportunity. He's appreciative of the opportunity, and I'm sure he's not going to be saying sorry in the future. He's going to be saying thank you for the chance.
Thank you, Counselor.
I'm sorry. Thank you for chatting.
All right, you're welcome.
I'm just going to show you respect. That's all.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Oh.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, who's here on